Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book has gained a lot of popularity recently and for good reason. It's a comprehensive guide to building better habits and breaking bad ones, which is something that many of us struggle with on a daily basis. In this video, I'll be summarizing the main points of the book and offering my own thoughts and insights along the way. So, let's get started. Chapter 1. The Fundamental Rule of Habit Formation. In this chapter, James Clear introduces the concept of the 1% rule, which is the idea that small changes can lead to big results. He argues that if we want to make lasting changes to our habits, we need to focus on making tiny improvements each day, rather than trying to make drastic changes all at once. This is a powerful concept because it takes the pressure off of trying to achieve immediate results and instead encourages us to focus on consistent, incremental progress. Clear also discusses the importance of understanding how habits are formed. He explains that habits are formed through a process of cue, craving, response, and reward. By understanding this process, we can begin to identify the cues that trigger our habits and find ways to modify them. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity. In this chapter, Clear argues that our habits are closely tied to our identities. He suggests that if we want to make lasting changes to our habits, we need to start by changing our identity. This means identifying as the type of person who has the habits we want to develop. Clear offers several strategies for changing our identity, including using affirmations, creating a new self-image, and focusing on our values. By identifying as the type of person who has the habits we want to develop, we can begin to align our behaviors with our new identity. Chapter 3. How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. In this chapter, Clear outlines a 4-step process for building better habits. The first step is to make the habit obvious, which means creating a visible cue that reminds us to perform the habit. For example, if we want to start drinking more water, we could place a water bottle on our desk as a reminder to drink more throughout the day. The second step is to make the habit attractive, which means linking the habit to a positive outcome that we value. For example, if we want to start exercising regularly, we could focus on the benefits of exercise, such as increased energy and improved health. The third step is to make the habit easy, which means reducing friction and making the habit as simple as possible. For example, if we want to start meditating, we could start with just a few minutes per day and gradually increase the duration over time. Finally, the fourth step is to make the habit satisfying, which means creating a reward that reinforces the habit and makes us feel good about performing it. For example, if we want to start reading more books, we could reward ourselves with a small treat each time we finish a book. Chapter 4. How to break bad habits. In this chapter, Clear discusses how to break bad habits. He argues that the key to breaking bad habits is to identify the underlying cause of the habit and then find a way to address that cause. For example, if we have a habit of eating junk food when we are stressed, we need to find a way to manage our stress in a healthier way. Clear also offers some practical strategies for breaking bad habits, such as tracking our habits and using a habit contract to hold ourselves accountable. He suggests that we focus on replacing bad habits with good ones, rather than simply trying to eliminate the bad habits. Chapter 5. How to make lasting changes. In this chapter, Clear discusses how to make lasting changes to our habits. He argues that the key to making lasting changes is to focus on progress, not perfection. This means accepting that we will have setbacks and failures along the way, but that these setbacks are not indicative of our overall progress. Clear also discusses the importance of having a growth mindset when it comes to developing new habits. He argues that by adopting a growth mindset, we can view our failures as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than as signs of inadequacy. In addition, Clear suggests that we focus on developing systems, rather than relying on willpower alone. Systems are habits that we put in place to make it easier for us to perform the desired behavior. For example, if we want to exercise regularly, we could create a system of packing our gym bag the night before and scheduling our workouts in our calendar. Chapter 6. The Secret to Self-Control. In this chapter, Clear discusses the importance of self-control when it comes to developing new habits. He argues that self-control is not a finite resource, but rather a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. Clear suggests several strategies for improving our self-control, such as practicing mindfulness, setting clear goals, and breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. He also suggests that we focus on developing our self-control muscles by gradually increasing the difficulty of the tasks we are trying to accomplish. Chapter 7. How to optimize your environment for habit change. In this chapter, Clear discusses the importance of our environment when it comes to developing new habits. He argues that our environment can either make it easier or harder for us to perform the desired behavior, depending on how it is designed. Clear suggests several strategies for optimizing our environment for habit change, such as designing our environment to make the desired behavior more visible and accessible, and reducing the number of distractions that can interfere with the desired behavior. Chapter 8. The Law of Attraction. How to make your habits irresistible. In this chapter, Clear discusses the concept of the law of attraction, which is the idea that we are more likely to perform a behavior if it is attractive to us. He argues that by making our habits more attractive, we can increase our motivation to perform them. Clear suggests several strategies for making our habits more attractive, such as adding an element of novelty or variety to the habit, and creating a sense of competition or accountability around the habit. Chapter 9. How to design your habit environment. In this chapter, Clear discusses how to design our environment to make it more conducive to habit change. He argues that by designing our environment to support our desired habits, we can make it easier for ourselves to perform the desired behavior. Clear suggests several strategies for designing our environment, such as creating a habit stacking routine, which involves linking a new habit to an existing habit, and using the 2-minute rule, which involves starting with a habit that takes just 2 minutes to perform and gradually building up to longer habits over time. Chapter 10. The Best Ways to Stay Motivated. In this final chapter, Clear discusses strategies for staying motivated over the long term. He argues that motivation is not something that we can rely on to be constant, but rather something that we need to actively cultivate. Clear suggests several strategies for staying motivated, such as finding an accountability partner or joining a supportive community, and celebrating our progress along the way. He also emphasizes the importance of focusing on the process, rather than the outcome, and enjoying the journey of habit change. So, there you have it, a summary of Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book offers a wealth of information and practical strategies for building better habits and breaking bad ones. The key takeaways include focusing on small, incremental changes, identifying as the type of person we want to be, and using the 4-step process for building better habits. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a like, share and subscribe. It really helps me out and allows me to create more content for you. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys and want to make sure I'm creating content that you enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.